Welcome back to the Bold Moves podcast. We're so glad to have you join us. We're in the Christmas season, which is honestly, it's the best time of the year. Do we agree on that?
Now, just a couple of weeks ago, I heard you say that Thanksgiving was the best holiday of the year, but Christmas season is the best time of the year.
Christmas season is the best time of year.
Okay.
Thanksgiving, I still contend, is the best day of the year.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah? You guys cool with that?
I mean, Easter Sunday is pretty good.
Oh my word.
You put Easter Sunday up there with Thanksgiving. That's wild. Okay.
Listen, I mean,
you're probably more spiritual than everyone.
Jesus rose from the dead.
You got me. There's nothing that we can say. You win. You win.
Well, I wasn't trying to win.
What's greater, Jesus being born or Jesus rising from the grave?
Oh, man. Well,
it's probably rising from the grave.
Is. Yeah.
Or being thankful for it. Huh?
What a weird discussion during Christmas season. Okay. Sorry for that.
So it's Christmas season. We're all leaning into that. We're getting ready for everything that's coming, all the chaos. Of course, I don't do any shopping until probably the 22nd, so I've got some time. Yeah, it's all good. You guys already have that all done, or how early do you shop?
I wish I could claim that I'm in charge of shopping. I'm not.
You don't do any of it, do you?
No, not really.
Yeah, I get that. I could see Kenzie loving that.
I think she does. Yeah, it does become a little stressful sometimes. But
okay, which is why Thanksgiving creeps up on the popularity list for me. What's that looking like for you, Kristen? Do you do all that or no?
Well, yeah, I'm the wife. I have to because you guys don't do it.
Fair point.
So John's out there shopping with us on the 22nd, 23rd.
Yeah, you'll see him.
It's when the alarm bells go off and you realize I actually still have to get something for my wife. Nobody else is going to do that for me.
Yes.
So.
Yes. You know, I've found, honestly, the best sales are actually right on the 24th. They're trying to get rid of it. They're panicking. So you can get some good sales there right on Christmas Eve. Yeah. Of course, nowadays, it's just get on Amazon and order it from there.
Totally,
I mean, as long as it's one-day shipping, you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
This is such a dumb start to our podcast. Thank you. If you're still here with us, thank you for listening.
Any other shopping tips for our listeners out there?
What do you got?
Today?
Anything? Let's go. Okay, so Christmas season is here. We talk about how we celebrate with the birth of Jesus. What we are celebrating every Christmas season is the hope that we have in him, the peace that we have because God is with us, and how that turns into joy, and it's the full expression of love that God has for us. I mean, those are the four main things that we celebrate and lean into every Christmas season. And today, specifically, we're focusing on the peace that we experience because of Jesus. Yeah. And I want to set this up today. When we talk about peace, it's not the absence of conflict, or tension. That's not the peace we're talking about. With peace, and I mean real peace at the deepest level, it's peace that comes from the presence of God. That's when we talk about in the Bible, peace that passes understanding. It's the fact that I am in the presence of God. Sure. And so that in any moment of chaos, I can still feel peace because God is with me. And I think that's actually a huge deal, because when it comes to following Jesus, when you talk about hope and leaning into who God is and that he is with you, you can trust that God is with you in any situation. And so I know I've experienced that in my life, and I'm grateful for that in the chaos of life, God is with me, and that changes everything. And there is chaos. Let's just be clear.
Oh, yeah.
Chaos follows everyone.
Yeah.
One of my favorite, I got to say, listen, this is a struggle for me because I've openly said Thanksgiving's my favorite. Okay. But Christmas Eve is a beautiful and sacred moment for us. And I love Christmas Eve. So I'm on the fence.
Here comes the reneging.
So one Christmas Eve, this was probably 3 or 4 years ago, at Crossroads, we always do multiple Christmas Eve services. It's become a massive, huge week for us. Last year, we did 8 Christmas Eve services. It was wild. It was wild. And so I think that's why probably Thanksgiving is my favorite, because you're so exhausted.
There's no Thanksgiving Eve service.
Yes. Yes. And don't even recommend one. Oh no. So the Christmas Eve services a few years back, they always end. It's like our tradition. We end by singing Silent Night. Yeah. And it's the candlelight moment. Everybody has their candles, and it goes to a cappella. And honestly, it's one of those goosebumps, beautiful, sacred moment. It is such an amazing moment. And truly, to have to go through that multiple times, it doesn't feel like work,
right,
because
get old.
It's awesome every time.
It feels great every time.
Every time.
There's never, it's one of those moments that as a worship leader, I've led that moment many different times. And the worship team, some people may or may not know this, but we use in-ear monitors that plugs our ears so we can't really hear what's going on out here. Yeah. You take those things out during that moment because it's just so cool
to hear.
You want to
experience it.
Yeah, to hear the people singing back at you, all the voices, seeing just these tiny little lights on faces. It's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for me, the chaotic moment of Christmas Eve, this was 3 or 4 years ago now. Everybody's in that moment. It's beautiful. It's the last Christmas Eve service. So in my mind, listen, full disclosure, I'm being vulnerable. Don't judge me. In my mind, I'm exhausted. We've just gone through the whole Christmas season. And I know when this service is over, we shake hands, we give everybody hugs, wish them Merry Christmas. And then I'm going home. I'm celebrating Christmas. I'm going to Florida for a week. It's
celebrating vacation.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to be doing.
So those thoughts are all starting to creep in. I'm going, home stretch. It's a beautiful moment. About ready to celebrate Christmas and go to Florida. And in the front row, there's a family that has inexplicably allowed like their 2-year-old son to have a candle and give it to him and just let him run around like the whole front of the church with the candle. No. And I'm watching this from the steps on the side of the stage as I'm trying to just be calm. And in my mind, I'm watching this kid try to light a chair on fire, like put it right up in his little sister's face, like lighting her hair on fire. Like it's really bad. The parents are completely oblivious when they see him doing something crazy. They're like, it was awful parenting. So I see this happening. And in my mind, I have to remind myself, people can see me. I'm still on the edge of the stage because my face had kind of gone into like jaw drop. What's happening right now? They're going to light the church on fire.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that since
since you almost did.
I may have almost done that myself. But the reality was I'm sitting there in that moment going, this is supposed to be the beautiful and sacred moment. This is sleep in heavenly peace. And the kid's lighting his sister on fire, lighting chairs on fire. Like, what is happening?
Are you saying that wasn't very peaceful?
It wasn't very peaceful. I went up, I finished off the moment we blew out our candles. Thankfully, nothing caught on fire. We survived. I went on vacation. It was glorious. But it's like in the moments where you least expect it, I think that it's the worst, where it's a beautiful and it's a sacred moment in life. Everything's going great. And then all of a sudden, boom, moments of chaos happen. That's where I think we talk about the devil trying to steal our joy. I think he tries to rob us of our peace as well, because that peace that comes from knowing that God is with me, that is a rock. That is a foundation that you can build on. And I think he tries to take our focus off of that by throwing us in the middle of chaos in life. Does anybody resonate with that? I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Oh, I know that is certainly something I feel like everybody deals with at some point, right? I mean, there's and what's cool, I think, is that we probably all know people in our lives, and maybe you guys can tell some stories, but like people in our lives who really deal with that well, where like, everything, the winds are swirling, it's just crazy all around them, but they're solid. They have that inner peace that you're talking about because of that relationship with Jesus. And I wouldn't claim that I'm perfect at that, but like that's those people who are, that's such an important thing to have people like that in your life too, because it helps calm you in those moments when you've got chaos going on.
Yeah. Do you ever have chaos in your world, Kristen, or are you good? You're just like you're a rock.
I'm pretty laid back. So if things are going crazy, I can
handle it.
Usually internally, maybe I'm freaking out. But when we went on our cruise, like I was just like thinking, what was the most recent like chaos moment? Yeah. When we went on our cruise, John and I did not bring our passports because like I don't know why. Well, okay, I do know why. But anyway, that's a different story. So
that's amazing.
I remember trying to board that cruise, and like because we have 5 people in our family, like one person had to go into our in-laws' room. And like we had to like sign them, like because you could only have 4 in a room. Okay. But anyway, so we gave our youngest one to the in-laws, and I watched them board the ship, and we're like back away, and we're like, we can't get on this ship. And then so we had to go to like this holding place until we could figure out like, well, where are your passports? Where's this? Where's that? And I just remember thinking like, my baby is on the cruise ship right now without me, with no diaper bag, no anything like that.
Oh my.
And so like it was complete chaos. And I kept telling John, I'm like, this is going to work out. Somehow this is going to work out. This is going to work out. And John's like, no, it's not. it's not going to work out.
Perfect.
He's like, the youngest one, he's going on a cruise and with nothing.
Yep.
So,
Good luck out there.
But anyway, like, it's just, it is those moments where you have to find that peace, even in like the silliest things in life, but like the serious things of life in a relationship or a job or whatever. If you don't, if you can't like just stop yourself and be calm, or not even be calm, but be quiet and focus in, like it's
really
gonna ruin
good.
you.
If you can pause in the middle of the chaos to be quiet, that's really powerful. That's a powerful concept, because I think it's in the quiet that you can recognize the presence of God. Like he's still there.
I'm going to give you another quick little tidbit. Like I always think about this. I talked with a friend and we were talking about how, like, why do things always happen right on a Friday? Like big decisions, and then like the actual decision won't be made until Monday. And you know that like chaos, like you're like, I'm going to go into a huge conversation or decision on Monday, and it's Friday.
Yes.
I have Saturday and Sunday. And my friend and I, we just coined saying weekends, or praying are for weekends, or weekends are for... Well, okay, I butchered this. We came up with this.
That's a powerful phrase that you've coined.
It's
weekends are for praying.
And because that's all you can do. All you can do at times is just be quiet and
trust that God is there.
Sure.
Interesting.
That's really good. I love that. I need to circle back because I'm a little bit OCD. Did you get on the cruise ship without your passports? How did that happen? How did that work?
We did.
So it is possible that all of you people traveling today,
don't let them tell you otherwise.
I'm getting on this boat.
That's right.
No, it was, we had several people go all through, like, I felt really violated in a sense, because all of our family members had to like go through our house, and I was like, well, check this, check that, just to locate all of the documents that they said that we would need to
so
get
they take
on.
Pictures of everything and you send it, and that works.
And like I think we just cried enough, and I was like, my baby is on the cruise
so
ship.
That worked.
And, well, I mean,
you got on the boat.
We almost had a vacation in Dallas because we're like, well, that's the next closest place.
That's amazing. Okay, good to know. Good to know.
Anyway.
Okay, so we're talking about peace being the presence of God. We're going to be talking for 5 good minutes with someone who's amazing at ushering people into the presence of God. We're talking with Kelsey Senecal. Yeah. She leads worship for us at our Goshen campus here at Crossroads. And she represents a lot of great things. She represents Gen Z. She represents someone who loves Jesus. And the idea of just having that moment where you're experiencing in a powerful way the presence of God, she gets to lead people into that on a regular basis, and she's great at it. Yeah. So let's get it for Kelsey. 5 good minutes with Kelsey Senecal. Kelsey, welcome to the Bold Moves podcast. We're so glad to have you. How are you doing today?
It's great to be here. Yeah, I'm doing good.
I'm really glad to hear that. We have been talking about how peace is not the absence of conflict or chaos. It's the presence of God. And yet we experience a lot of chaos in our lives. We were just sharing some moments of chaos. Do you have any moments of chaos recently that you've experienced that you could share with us just for fun?
Oh, man. I feel like as a person, I have like a high tolerance for chaos going on underneath the surface.
I can see that in you.
Yeah. Just staying steady. We had this saying in my family that was like, things just kind of work out for Kelsey. So yeah, a lot of chaos going on. And then, God is faithful in the midst of all that. But this was a couple weekends ago, probably 2 weeks ago. And Corey and Kristen are going to know exactly what I'm talking about because they both played a key role in this.
Oh, interesting.
But my husband, Anthony, was out of town, and we knew as soon as he left that he had my spare key with him. And I didn't think that was going to be an issue until Kristen and I were out at a nature reserve. And somewhere along the path, I completely dropped all of my keys and pretty much all of my belongings and any way to get home.
No.
So that wouldn't have really been an issue had it not been late on a Saturday night, like 5 minutes before the park's closing. I'm panicking. There are like 10 people just deployed looking for my keys all over this park. They were nowhere to be found. And so I ended up texting Corey really late and being like, hey, just so you know, tomorrow morning, I'm going to look really crazy and really unprofessional. I'm Ubering to church. I don't have a way to get in, and I have to bring my 12-month-old baby with me somehow. So, Kristen, I'm borrowing your car seat. I have no idea when you're going to get it back.
That's amazing.
Okay, we have extra.
Great Sunday, and it worked out.
Because it always works out for Kelsey, is what they say.
I'm glad to know that saying. We're going to start using that in the office.
Please do. And actually, it held so true in this situation that when I returned to the park, someone had found my keys and put them on the hood of my car, which was still there. So.
What? Is that real? That happened?
I now have my car and my keys.
Oh, my
What?
word.
Yeah.
I had not heard that twist of the story.
Is this going to be a new game? Try to figure out a way to throw Kelsey off and see how she's going to land.
We're going to keep doing bigger and bigger things to see if it finally doesn't work out for Kelsey. That's amazing. Your keys were on the hood of your car.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay. I thought I was a lucky guy.
John
That's amazing.
did ask me, he goes, do you think they were there the whole time? And I was like, no, we looked. No,
Oh, man.
they weren't.
But if they were,
Oh, man.
that's even funnier. That's hilarious.
I want to be like, absolutely, not a chance. But I'm gonna leave a little room for error in there.
There you go. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, so we've been talking about just the Christmas season, Kelsey, and all that represents, because we're celebrating the birth of Jesus and the fact that he represents hope and joy and peace and love. And really, that's what everyone is looking for. If you don't know Jesus, you're trying to fill the gap in your life that all of those things represent that are missing. I'm curious, Kelsey, from your point of view, you are a representative of Gen Z, the next generation that's coming up. And I'm curious, what does that look like to you when we talk about Jesus being the answer for all of these deepest questions that people are looking for? What does that look like from your perspective? What do you see in your generation? How is Jesus the answer? Are they searching for him? Are they open to him? What's that look like?
Yeah, absolutely. So it relates to me directly because I'm a part of Gen Z. So when we talk about Gen Z, we're talking about anybody who's between the ages of 12 and 27. So I'm on the upper end of that, but we are actively ministering to everyone in the student ministry who's a part of that. And so really what I'm seeing with them is like you're saying, like this openness like I've never seen. I mean, they're searching and examining things on a level that I don't think we've seen other generations.
That's awesome.
Do. And I mean, it's to the point that like they're taking it seriously. You know, they don't just have a desire for authenticity, but also like they're partnering that with accountability. And, you know, I think we see that from the outside and we're like, okay, this generation, like they're too skeptical, they're too all over the place. And so that means we can't reach them, right? Because they're not looking for what we have. And I would say like that really couldn't be further from the truth. I think God has always strategically placed people in times, like God knows the context that someone's going to be born into, right?
Absolutely.
And so Israel is going off the rails and he's like, here, I'm going to send this one person who I'm going to speak to, and that person becomes a mouthpiece. And I think like Gen Z, he's like, hey, these people are skeptical, they're examining, they're going to hold people accountable. And I'm not just seeing it as like, oh, maybe God's going to redeem those qualities and use them in the church. But I think like, oh, what if God actually strategically placed those qualities in them to refine the church, to bring us to like this new standard of purity that we haven't even seen before? I don't know. I get really excited at the prospect of that, because when we talk about authenticity, it's not just like this surface level thing where we're talking about, oh, Gen Z, they don't want like all the lights and the sound and all the, you know, all the stuff, all the frills. But like, they don't want to be lied to, right?
Yeah.
And we believe that when they walk through the doors here, we're going to present them the ultimate truth. And so I get excited about that.
Yeah. That's amazing.
I really love that concept, Kelsey, that you said, that it's not an accident, that those qualities are not something that like flips it on its head. Because sometimes we look at that and think of, okay, those are things that those people are going to have to overcome. But instead, what if it's exactly the qualities that God placed in their life? I just love that concept.
That's so good. So Kelsey, my thing is you have the opportunity on a regular basis to be on the platform, leading people in worship and just bringing us into the presence of God. And you're saying like they're looking, they're searching, they're open, they're looking for something authentic. What's it like from your perspective there, being able to be part of that process that helps them experience, like in a tangible way, the presence of God? Like God is always there, but there's something about gathering to worship where it's like, God is near. And you get to lead people in that experience, Kelsey. And you're great at it, by the way. So what's that like being in that position? What are you seeing? Like, what's that experience like?
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. It's been exciting all across the board. I think I've been at Crossroads now for 2 years, and I just came in with a lot of dreams and hopes and visions for what people would encounter when they come to Crossroads on a Sunday morning or a Thursday night or a Sunday night. And I've just seen God be so faithful in making a lot of that come to life. I see now when I look out into the crowd, people are really engaging. Like, eyes are closed and hands are raised, but it's not about just the actions. It's about the conversations that I have after that moment. And I'm like, you looked like you were really having a moment today in worship. Like, tell me about that. And then there's always a story attached to it, because it's not about what's happening in the room, right? It's about like who we are as the church outside of church. And so I think really just being able to connect these moments of worship with lifestyles that are becoming increasingly more and more about how do we worship God in every area of our lives. That's what energizes me.
That's fantastic. Kelsey, it's really good to have you on the podcast. I just want you to know, man, you have become in 2 years just a staple of Crossroads. And I don't know if you realize this, you've ingrained yourself into the culture, and what you're doing, it matters. It is resonating. And so to be able to have that experience where we talk about peace being the presence of God, we're able to usher people into that presence and experience that together. There's something powerful about that. That's why we gather together as a church, right? It's the weekly reminder that God is here, God is with us. So Kelsey, thank you for all that you do. Thank you for using your gifts here at Crossroads and being part of our family. It's great to have you on the podcast. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, thanks for having me share. And I'm really humbled by all of that. So thank you.
Those are 5 great minutes with Kelsey. I love that she's on our team and just appreciate what she brings to the table. She's fantastic.
I just appreciate the way that I've seen her grow in her leadership over the last couple of years. She's been on our staff for just a little over 2 years.
Yeah.
And man, it's like, you just feel so like confident and safe when she takes the stage, takes the microphone, and leads people through moments. It's really good.
She really does a great job. She has a gift.
Yeah,
she has a gift.
Yeah, her other gift is her hair.
Okay.
Fill us in. I have no idea.
She has wonderful flowing hair.
That's good.
So I've gotten to know Kelsey like on a friendship side and whatnot. And we did like the viral self-portrait paintings. But we did a little different. Like we just drew names out of a hat. So nobody knew who was painting who. And my husband got Kelsey.
Perfect.
And I was actually sitting next to him and I watched him a little like, and he started out with the hair and it was going really, really well. And I was like, oh, I know who he has. And then it went south fast. Like I thought John was somewhat artistic, not when painting Kelsey. Actually, it was so bad that people thought it was her husband, Anthony. So
fabulous. Good work, John.
So that was really great. But yeah, I admire Kelsey. I love how she is just a total calm, and she just drops bombs of truth. And she does it so like eloquently and gentle, and just she's great.
Yeah. It's real. Like with Kelsey, it's real.
It is.
Yeah. She really is. She's got a gift. We're blessed to have her.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Just so wrapping this up then, the idea is here, we're here in the Christmas season. We're celebrating all that we have in Jesus, truly the greatest gift that we could ever hope to receive. We have hope in Jesus, and we have peace that comes from him being with us in every situation. And so as we wrap this up, I just encourage everybody who's watching, everybody who's listening, lean into the fact that no matter what you're going through, however chaotic life gets this Christmas season, maybe take some time just to be quiet and reflect on and remember that God is with you. And that's where you get that peace that passes understanding. That's a great gift, the peace that we have from Jesus. So
absolutely.
When it comes time to make that move, let's sign off with an awkward, be bold.
Or it could just be a normal, be bold.
Be bold. Be bold. Merry Christmas. Bold. Merry Christmas.
Ho, ho, ho. Bold.